Again, I'm just glad y'all checking on in, but I'm going to introduce myself real slowly. My name is Armand Bakhtiari. I'm an admissions counselor here at Baylor University. I'm actually counselor for most of Dallas and then Utah and Idaho as well. I'm a Baylor grad myself. I actually originally came to Baylor in 2008, spent 2 years here and left after my sophomore year. I left Baylor for the Air Force and loved Baylor so much, came back with my GI Bill in hand and graduated in 2017. So I got my degree in international studies, minored in history, and I graduated from the Honors College through the Baylor Interdisciplinary Corps. And after my professional career, I love Baylor so much I came back a third time. And I get to help y'all find your way to Baylor University. It's my favorite place on earth, and I get to get paid to help y'all get to my favorite place and experience the experiences I love the most. So kind of dream job here. So looks like y'all are joining on in with that. I'm going to introduce our guest today, Dr. Geoffrey Griggs. He is our Associate Director of Multicultural Affairs here at Baylor. Just a charismatic man. Y'all are in for a treat. So I'm not going to take more of his time. I'm going to hand it over to you, Dr. Griggs.
I definitely appreciate that. Hey, hello, everyone. I'm excited to talk to you all today because I get to talk to y'all about one of my favorite subjects. And I'm just playing y'all. Multicultural affairs, but just to give y'all a little bit about what multicultural affairs is here at Baylor, so y'all can have a little bit of insight to how things are. So the mission of the Department of Multicultural Affairs talks about enriching the holistic development of each student by encouraging them to celebrate their personal heritage and culture, but embrace the culture of others as well. So what do we mean by that? You have grown up your whole life with your own culture and heritage. We want you to bring it here to Baylor. We have over 400 organizations here at Baylor, student organizations here. We want you to take your culture heritage, be a part of a student organization with it, use that, utilize it to help you here at the university. But also we want you to do something a little bit out the norm. We want you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace a culture that is different from yours. Our mission statement and the university talks about preparing you for global and worldwide leadership. So we see our office as one of the best ways to encourage you to do that by not just doing what you know, but also trying something that you don't know. So through that, we have tons of events. You're like, Geoffrey, how do we get connected with multicultural affairs and the different things that are going on? Well, once you arrive here in August, the first event that we have is called our Mosaic Mixer. This event is for students to learn about our organizations and departments that we have here on Baylor. Different student organizations also compete in our Mosaic Mixer showcase. We'll show you a few pictures here of that going on. We average over about 1,000 students the first Wednesday of the school year. The president comes, just a wonderful time to get connected and see the different opportunities that we have on campus. The great thing about this event, I will tell you all, is that there is free food. You'll see a theme as this presentation goes on, but this is one of the areas where you get so much free food. Normally we have a lot of students that aren't from the Waco area, so we like to get food from different places in Waco. That way, if you don't want to use your meal plan one day, you know what area in Waco you want to go to get something that we may have bought and let you get for free at Mosaic Mixer. So we definitely want to get you connected that way. In about 2016, Mosaic Mixer got so big, we was averaging almost over 2,000 individuals that they was like, how can y'all make this a little bit smaller? You have people that want to connect, but feel it's a little too big for them to connect. So we created Mosaic Week out of Mosaic Mixer. So the mixer still happens, but we actually created nights, small nights, smaller. Let me not say small because they still average a couple hundred, but for our large minority groups on campus where we have Black Student Welcome, Mosaic Asian Night, and Latinx Night. These nights are a way for you to get connected with these different student organizations on campus, regardless of how you identify. You can show up to every single one of them. I tell everybody I'm Black, but I show up to every night, and not just because they pay me. But the real reason that I show up is because there is free food. Every night, you all, they are picking a food that is particular to their culture to give away for free for you all to know more about them. So it's a wonderful time, not only to get connected, but to get a free meal. Signing Day is one of my favorite events that we have. We kind of base it off National Signing Day if you're an athlete or know an athlete, to where we turn it into a competition for our student organization to see who can get the most commits and recommits. Students do funny videos, having fun with it. They may take a hat of another organization and throw it away and then put on the hat of their own organization just to showcase their pride that they have for their organization. So it's a fun event. We tally it, have a bunch of games there. But as you can see in the pictures, there is free food. We want to feed you all, not just feed you all, but feed me as well. So this opportunity to take care of two birds at one time. So we're excited with doing that. Kente ceremony is one of my favorite events that we have in Multicultural Affairs. It happens a day or two before actual graduation, where we turn graduation ceremony into a little bit more intimate space for students that were involved in our multicultural organization. So we present them with a stole, represent either one of our three coalitions, our coalition of Asian students, our Latinx coalition, or our Black student coalition. We have a general multicultural affairs stoles for students who feel they just can't pick one, but they feel like this encompasses all. And then for graduate students, we have a stole that we give them as well. This is a wonderful time to where at big graduation, we know we just say your name and we tell you to keep it moving. We got to hurry up because there's about a couple hundred of y'all. But at this ceremony, we make it a little bit more personable. We allow you to give us some parting words that are read, give us some future plans that are read. We even allow you to pick a faculty or staff member that meant something to you during your time here at Baylor to drape the stole around you. So it's a wonderful opportunity to make it just a little bit more personal. We want your parents, family, and friends to come, make as much noise as possible, have that moment, shed some tears, because you earned that degree. So definitely look out for the Kente ceremony. Virtual programming, yes, y'all, the pandemic did happen. So it changed a lot of things and how we had to operate here at the university. So what we did was created some virtual programs that went extremely well during the pandemic, but the university has given us the resources to continue them, even though we're kind of out of it a little bit right now. So we have a couple of events that I would highlight to you all. I did put pictures here, but I tell you all why, because most of these events that happen virtually have my face in it, and I feel like you all didn't want to see my face at least 6 times. But a couple of events we doing for educational purposes, like the 9 with Baylor MPHC, to where we're educating about our National Panhellenic Council Greek groups here on campus, and we're doing it in a way to where people don't feel uncomfortable asking those questions. So that's something that we do on the spot, is a virtual program that we do on our Instagram, to where we are able to connect with a student organization to see what they are doing on campus and how students can connect with them during these events and programs that they're having. Turn Up the AC is one I like as well. AC standing for Alumni Connections, because we want to connect current students with alumni who is out in the world doing great things, who are able to talk about the programs and events and groups they were involved in during their time at Baylor and how they benefited them. And so you see that connection, knowing that what you're doing now isn't in vain, and it does have some, you do get some payoff for it in the long run. And then the last ones that I'll talk about, that way I don't talk about all of them, homecoming week. We have homecoming coming up here in Baylor in the next few weeks, and we like to have fun with it. So we have some virtual programs that we'll do, but our Spirit Week, based off a lot of what schools do in high school, we'll have different competitions where we'll give book vouchers just to see who can be the best dressed for the individual days. So we'll have a color day. We'll have a day where you dress up as something that recognizes where you're from, whether it's your country or your state. My favorite one is Blackout Day, because we like to have a fake funeral to the school that we're playing for homecoming. So this year we're playing Kansas for homecoming. So we will be fake burying a Jayhawk. But it's those type of things that we like to do just to make it fun and be a little creative. Heritage Month. So we have different months that happen throughout the year where we're able to connect, to celebrate the different cultures that we have on campus, but to educate about them as well. So you see here, we have Hispanic Heritage Month, which is going on right now. And you'll see some pictures there from some of our previous events that we have had for that month. You have Asian and Pacific American Heritage Month that we have. Normally this happens in May, but we have it happening in mid-October to mid-November. That way we can celebrate it on campus. We just feel like we have a large Asian population on campus, and we want to make sure we're celebrating their culture and heritage and educating about it as well. We have Black History Month that happens during February as well. So we have a few pictures from events that take place during that month. And then we have Women's History Month as well. So a lot of different things going on during your time here at Baylor. So multicultural student organizations, we have over 40 different multicultural organizations here at Baylor, where it's academic and professional, MPHC and MGC. Those are our Greek groups. MGC is now UGC. I need to change that. They just recently changed it, but just want to give y'all that information when y'all go, hey, I can't find MGC. Yeah, that's why. And you have religious groups, special interest groups, and student associations. So as you see that list there, it's a lot to look at right now, but if you want to, feel free to go to baylor.edu/multicultural. You can get some more information there for our different groups, or you can just find the About Me section of our staff and see my email and send me an email and tell me what you're looking for, and I can help you as best as possible. So a lot of different things for you to get involved in during your time at Baylor and with Multicultural Affairs. So we have 3 coalitions. I know y'all heard me earlier mention about our 3 large minority groups that we have on campus. So we have we have interns hired in our office, student interns, to work with each of these umbrella coalitions that work with the groups under their umbrella. So we have a Latinx coalition, a Black student coalition, and a coalition of Asian students. These student groups, they do work with our groups for their Heritage Months, gathering events that the individual organizations plan on having during their Heritage Month and putting it on a calendar so others at the university are aware. But also they're doing events outside of their Heritage Month as well. I told you all earlier that we have Hispanic Heritage Month going on right now, but currently we have this weekend where our Coalition of Asian Students has had 2 events that have happened, or that one has happened and one is about to happen. Yesterday, our Korean Student Association had their Korean cultural show last night, which was a phenomenal event. And tonight we have our Vietnamese Students Association having their Autumn Moon Festival. So we don't want them to limit it to the months. We want them to be able to branch out and celebrate all throughout the year and find different opportunities for individuals to get involved in and educate themselves. Departmental programs. So we have a lot of departmental programs that happen throughout the year. Our Multicultural Women's Symposium, we get women, faculty, staff, students from all over Baylor to come together as women to talk about issues that impact them and to celebrate that diversity and strengthen one another about different things and helping them from that angle. Our Baylor Leadership Summit is another program that we have to where we're able to get together and have speakers come in to talk about different leadership initiatives that students could take on, or different skills that they could build on and relationships they can gather. This one, while it does say Baylor, it just says that because of location. We have other schools that come to this wonderful event as well. Generally happens, Multicultural Women's Symposium happens in March. Baylor Leadership Summit will either happen in late February or early March as well. We have a bunch of cultural competency and cultural humility initiatives that happen in our department that I'd like to talk to you all about real quick as well. So we have our Multicultural Affairs book club, where our students, they'll pick a book based on some suggestions from our office. They'll have a big vote on it on Instagram about some different books that they would like to read and have discussions about. The books apparently have been so popular that faculty and staff are wanting us to do book clubs for them as well, so they can have the opportunity to come and discuss these books. So we're excited about how this has gone over the year. Just, you have to do a lot of reading for a class, but what if you could do some reading for your own learning or your own personal fun? So that is what our book club is for. Neighbor Nights, we call this the most diverse hour at Baylor because we allow one of our multicultural groups to come and lead a discussion, or we have a speaker who will come and talk about something that is important to our minority community. As you see, there's plates on the table. So if you didn't notice, there is free food. So it's another event where we come together, and the group that's normally hosting this will be able to pick a meal that's connected with their culture, and we'll be able to eat it over a conversation at these tables. So, it's a wonderful time to come together. And this is a partnership that we have with Spiritual and Public Life. Better Together is an interfaith group that we have on campus. We are well aware that Baylor is a Christian institution, but we are also aware that we have students that come from other religious groups as well. So this interfaith group allows us to have dialogue about the different faiths that we have on campus and to be better leaders and citizens. So this is also a partnership that we have with Spiritual and Public Life, a wonderful group that does a lot here on our campus. Mister is a minority male support group that we have on campus. They get together every third Thursday just to talk about issues impacting them as minority men on Baylor's campus. And those issues don't have to be limited to Baylor. It could be stuff that's going on in the world. So one thing that the group does love is that we do provide chicken wings. When y'all come to Baylor, Shorty's Pizza has great chicken wings. I will let you all know that we have gotten their chicken wings for the past 7 years. They actually got some new flavors this year, which actually make me very happy. But it's a wonderful time to just be able to talk over a meal. And those chicken wings are free, if I didn't say that. And then there's just a picture of our office. And we have been under the leadership of our wonderful director, Mrs. Pearl Beverly, since 2005, which is when our department was started. And we are full steam ahead, just doing things to further not only our department's mission, but the university's mission as well, as we prepare you all for global and worldwide leadership. I want to encourage you all, especially if you're on social media, to follow us on social media. I would definitely say our Instagram channel. That is the one I probably spend the most time on, but it's the one I have the most fun with as well. So would definitely love for you all to connect with us and see some of our events and programs that we have going on and receive any information or ask us any questions that you have. So definitely want to thank you all for this time and give it over to Armand to see if y'all have any questions.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Dr. Griggs. That was a fun present. I always enjoy what we present. I'm enjoying it. I'm a fan now. But, but yeah, thank you for having us. We do got a couple questions. I'm actually gonna start off with one. I love asking how do you get involved here at Baylor University? How do you get involved in multicultural affairs? How do you get involved? Yeah.
Yes. So, especially if you're an incoming student, we're going to hit you hard. Like, we talk about these things earlier, like we do now. So we're having these conversations early to let you know what is offered at our institution. So we have other ways where orientation, we have a session called We Are the Baylor Family that our department leads, to where we talk about understanding our similarities and differences and how we're more alike than we are different. So, that's a wonderful session. I like to, not brag, but I mean, I have had, one of the highest rated sessions during orientation for the past year. Hopefully that streak continues if they still think I'm a good part of it. But, we do like to hit you out early. And then you see the different ways with Mosaic Week earlier in the year where we want to have those spaces for you to be able to get connected as soon as you get to the institution. And if those times don't work, we like to make sure that our social media accounts are available to where you can see different events that are going on and, reach out to those groups and attend those events. Our offices is a great place to stop by. If you have any questions, you can easily come by our office to discuss anything, and we will help as best as we can. If it's connecting you with a group, you're interested in throwing a program or event on your own with Multicultural Affairs, we want to give you those opportunities to get connected and help. So whatever we can do there, we want to get you connected.
Awesome. I love it. I mean, we're big on community here at Baylor. So get yourself plugged into the communities. That's part of being a Baylor student. That's part of being a Baylor Bear. Y'all, if y'all have more questions, drop them in the Q&A section of the chat. It looks like Audrey's got one for you. Audrey asked, can you go over the most recent diversity stats by ethnicity? And before you answer that, I'm just use that as a shameless plug for my own session. We're doing right after this at 2 o'clock. We're continuing the conversation with BU at BU, and we will definitely be talking about that there. But Dr. Griggs, you just want to touch on that as well. I don't know if you have the specific stats, but you just want to talk about maybe recent diversity at Baylor in general.
Oh, yes, I can definitely do that. The great thing about it is, and I don't want to sit here and take away from your upcoming session, is Baylor's been increasing in terms of our diversity numbers for the institution as a whole. I will sit here and say I've been here since 2013, and to see the institution grow in that aspect, just what they have done for our department in Multicultural Affairs to make sure we have the resources to support the students that are attending the university has been phenomenal. Giving us an office in a natural footprint of the institution and prime space, because a lot of people wanted that space, but then building us a space for our interns right across from that is a lot that the institution is doing. We've just recently, I know in student life, hired a assistant dean for intercultural engagement who is working on a lot of issues to make sure that students are feeling supported on campus. And what could we be changing at Baylor, at least in student life, to make sure that we're supporting all students at the institution. So I'm actually excited for this session that you're having it too, that I might have to sneak in, but definitely that's one of the things that we're doing. We want to make sure all students see themselves at Baylor, and we're doing, I want to say the institution as a whole is doing a good job in making sure that is happening.
Awesome. Well, yeah, great. And Caitlin just asked, I think my favorite question anyone's asked throughout all my sessions today. She asked, Dr. Griggs, do you have a favorite memory of a Multicultural Affairs event or interaction? She'd love to hear it. Yeah.
Well, so Kente ceremony, which I talked about earlier, is probably my favorite event, not just because I'm in charge of it, but this year was a little special to me. Each year we have a keynote speaker who gets to speak to the students, give them an uplifting message. And my director instituted her director powers this year and said, hey, Geoffrey, you're graduating with your doctorate. Why don't you be the keynote speaker? And I avoided her for as long as I could, trying to get out of it. But I eventually decided to go ahead and do it. So to be able to talk to the students that I also helped get to the point of graduation was memorable to me. I got to talk about some memories that we had as student interaction as me as a staff member with them as students. and was able to actually do some different things that we haven't done in previous Kente. So this year we actually were able to do a new event called Project Kente, which happened after Kente, to where we actually rented out all of main event here in Waco for 3 hours. So students got to have unlimited fun there, to where they got to play games, bowl, laser tag, until their hearts desired. Well, until they put us out at midnight when they was ready to go home. But that's one of my favorite things, because at that event I get to interact not just with the students, but a lot of times their parents and their family and friends. So to be able to see the people who are supporting you away from Baylor, and a lot of students being able to connect their Baylor family with their actual family, is just one big family reunion. So I love being able to have those opportunities where we get to support students and being able to help them in all aspects, but meet their family as well, who got them to that point as well.
I love that. Well, speaking to your passion, I mean, your passion, man, you're in this, you're an associate director of multicultural affairs. What I think a good question is what drives that passion? Why do you love what you do? Why do you love being part of this here at Baylor?
Man, I tell you all that I think about, and I utilize this all the time, what I needed as a student. What was some of the things that would have helped me be successful during my time at my institution? So, I utilize a lot of that when we create programs and events here at Baylor for students. What could we do to make sure that you are successful? What resources would you need? And I think about what I needed during my time. So using a lot of that, being able to draw back on that, has helped a lot in making sure we're doing what we need to do in multicultural affairs. And that seems to be the same for all of our staff members. A lot of times they like to look back on their experiences, on their lives. So, and we're always open to new suggestions as well. We understand that everybody's experience is different. Somebody may have something that they even did in high school that we could bring to the institution and institute it. So we're always looking at what we can do to make the Baylor experience a better experience.
I love that. Well, that is true passion right there. So awesome, y'all. Well, last call for questions in the Q&A. I think we're down to Julia, Caitlin. Got any questions for Dr. Griggs? Giving y'all a sec. Type quickly. All right. Great. Well, with that, we're going to conclude. So thank you so much, Dr. Griggs, for all this wonderful information, all the cultural affairs, just being here. Just thank you overall. And yeah, thank you for everything you do as well. We just, we're so blessed to have y'all on campus. So
make sure y'all check out that 2:00 session.
Do it. Shameless plugs. We're having real conversations there. Fireside chat, y'all. But well, with that, thank y'all for joining us, and hope you'll have a great rest of your premiere. Bye, y'all.
Have a good one.